Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the voice of the people. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
He got a country behind him. A country.
Shane Mosley would be a hot fight.
And we know Mexicans been dominating. We know Mexicans and black fighters has been dominating for years. And you always get your biggest fight when you match the two together.
Muchos querían que tú no tomaras esta pelea frente a Irlanda y Lara del campamento tuyo. ¿Tú pelearías otra vez con él? Cuando te enseña a pelear, te doy la revancha. But when he learns how to fight, then I'll give him the rematch.
Now I want to ask you another question.
Go ahead.
Who's beating me?
Nobody's beating you yet.
That's all I want to know.
So why pick a guy 2 weight classes light?
That's all I want to.
When you have a guy who's got feet like Pacquiao, you have to point the gun. If I got the height, I have to come here. See? Now you have to get this. You have to get the first line of defense, and then you have to get the second line of defense, right? Here's the third line of defense. I got 3 lines of defense. Now Pacquiao wants to hop all over the ring. You just keep it pointed. No matter where he goes, you just keep it pointed. And you're going to find him doing just like that. If he's disciplined, stay right over here. So look how fast he is.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another afternoon edition of the Boxing Voice Radio #TBV podcast. We are back to discuss the heavyweight division. That's right. If you're interested in the heavyweight division, you might as well hit that thumbs up button because we're going to be talking about one of the biggest stars in boxing, Anthony Joshua. But trouble is brewing. The unbeaten, the #1 heavyweight contender, Luis King Kong Ortiz, hailing from Cuba, is just chomping at the bit to get in the ring with the newly unified Anthony Joshua, who now holds the WBA, the IBF, and the IBO titles. Now, we all remember him doing magnificent things back in April versus Vladimir Klitschko, stopping him in 11 rounds in one of the most exciting fights in a long time, for sure. Definitely most exciting fights in the heavyweight division, without a doubt. But, Ortiz, he's happy for Joshua, and he actually congratulates him. And I quote, "I congratulate the young man for the courage, but I'm next, and that is that. Look, my team, let that fight happen because the WBA and Eddie Hearn asked us for a favor. And because Klitschko didn't want to fight me, but I'm done being pushed back. It's my time. I want my WBA belt, so I'm calling Joshua out. If he likes, he can give up the belt. But if not, then October or November sounds good to me. It's your move, boy. To be the best, you have to fight the best." Ortiz told BoxingScene.com, and I'm telling you, that little quote right there sent chills, man. I'm excited to see what happens, but let's just be honest before I go out to my co-host. Let's be honest, listeners and panelists alike. We know that there's a big possibility that Joshua relinquished one of these titles. So these tough words from Luis Ortiz don't necessarily mean much. It's really up to the A side to decide what's the best thing to do. And the best thing for me to do is obviously head on out to the Golden State.
WBA production.
This is a beautiful performance against a very tough guy in Michael Johnson. How do you feel about it?
Fuck that. Conor McGregor.
Boxingvoice.com.
You know me, Larry. From a wicked entrance, from a flip over the rock into a knockout. Now, we're here. The main thing is, I just hope the guy, I wish.
Boxingvoice.com.
Yes, the hipster's here. Haters beware. The sport killer is back, as Ness says. Luis Ortiz, man, like, I'll put it this way. If you were a guy that rocked with Triple G back in 2013, 2012, and you wanted him to get the title shots against the Sergio Martinez's and then eventually the Miguel Cottos and the Canelos of the world, if you rocked with him, you got rocked with Luis Ortiz. If you rocked with Earl Spence through the entire Kell Brook saga and said he deserved his shot because he was the mandatory, then you need to rock with Luis Ortiz. I'm just saying that Luis Ortiz is one of the most underrated and most least respected boxers in the game, and he's been positioned for big fights for years and hasn't gotten them. He deserves a big fight. And even if it's not a Joshua, if it's a Wilder, if it's a Joseph Parker, I'll be happy. He needs a title fight. He deserves it.
Let's be fair. Earl Spence didn't go the Andre Berto or Sean Porter route. He stood where he was positioned at. So, you want a big fight for him, but don't start throwing names out. He's in line. He's waiting in line. And that's the reason we're even doing this show, is because he's saying, I'm not going anywhere. I've already given you one opportunity to step aside. It's time to play ball now. I want my day.
And he even said that the WBA guaranteed, and I don't know if that was in a contract or if that was just a verbal contract. I don't know. But he said the WBA guaranteed that he was going to get that shot over the IBF mandatory, which is very interesting. That the WBA guaranteed he was going to get the mandatory shot over another sanctioning body's mandatory. And obviously, I think that if Klitschko gets the rematch, I don't think Luis Ortiz is going to be too upset about that. I just have respect for Klitschko and being a legend. But if Joshua fights anyone not named,
what does the WBA do in that in that stance? Like if Joshua decides to rematch Klitschko, who has a contract.
Well, technically speaking, most sanctioning bodies do not respect rematch clauses. I know the WBC, for example, does not respect rematch clauses in contracts.
Well, now, if you're Joshua, where do you go? What is your best option? Quickly, let's play a game.
Promoter hat? Am I putting that promoter hat on?
No, not promoter hat. Really quick. You ready? Let me get my drum roll ready. I think it's here. No. And then it's here. No, that either. All right. So then it's definitely here. Yes. Luis Ortiz, biggest win. Go.
Bryant Jennings.
Kurt Pulev, biggest win. Go.
Fuck. I can't really name one off the top of my head.
So
that's bigger than Bryant Jennings? Sorry, I couldn't think of anyone that's bigger than Bryant Jennings.
Obviously, if you're Joshua, you're right. I mean, how old is Pulev? Because Luis Ortiz is 38, allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah, because obviously that Cuban, always the stereotype of Cubans being older than what they say. But
just like Dominicans, though,
Yeah, it's no big deal. But let's be honest, like Luis
Pulev
Ortiz
is 36 and 38. So then there it is. You go with the older guy who's more recognized, because if you're going to go with Pulev, it's kind of the same. Well, I guess Pulev only has a 50% knockout ratio, whereas though, King Kong is perceived as a knockout puncher. But I mean, I guess he got a knockout in his last fight versus David Allen, but he didn't knock out Malik Scott, which was odd to me because
but come on, that fight, Malik Scott literally ran. And I'm not the type of person to use that term around.
So did Julio Cesar Chavez, yet we said that Canelo doesn't have power. Not we, but the public is stating that Canelo may not have power because he couldn't knock down or knock out Chavez. So
that's a different fight entirely.
No, it's not a different fight. It's up to the fighter to cut the ring off and knock out his fighter. It's not up to us to make excuses as to why they don't have power or they do have power.
It's very hard to knock out somebody that doesn't want to engage. At least. Hold on, Ness. Hold on. Let me finish my thought.
The ring and he knocks you out.
Let me finish my thought.
You serious?
Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. was in the pocket with Canelo through large portions of their fight. Malik Scott was never in the pocket. He avoided that pocket like his life depended on it. Come on, man. Like, you saw that fight, or did you?
I did see the fight, but again, let's just stick to the point. IBF, WBA, we're obviously talking that Luis Ortiz is threatening a lawsuit. Mm-hmm. It's not just a call out. He's saying, if I don't get my opportunity, we're going to sue the WBA. People have sued sanctioning bodies before, and these things could be long and drawn out. So if he does go the legal route, is that better for Joshua?
Well, I'll put it this way. Luis Ortiz obviously now has Al Heyman in his corner. To what degree he has him in his corner, we don't know. But he's signed with Al Heyman now. And that, like you've said numerous times, Ness, is massive. You have the biggest power broker in the sport now on your side. So I may favor a Luis Ortiz lawsuit against the WBA, especially if there is anything in writing of a guarantee of him getting the fight with Joshua if he takes the step aside money, especially if he's guaranteed the fight over the IBF mandatory. If there's something in wording about that, I think Luis Ortiz has a case.
Well, Matt, I mean, the more you speak, the more I believe that Luis Ortiz is the better option. A, he's 38. B, his last 3 fights, he hasn't looked as great as we thought. C, his relationship with Al Heyman helps him in his relationship with Eddie Hearn, who has the relationship with Anthony Joshua. Pulev doesn't check any of those boxes. So if I'm Anthony Joshua, not even, because again, the lawsuit wouldn't be for Joshua, it's the WBA. So if I'm the WBA, I help kind of incentivize Anthony Joshua to, go in the Luis Ortiz direction. Am I right or am I wrong?
I'll put it this way. If I'm Joshua and I beat Vladimir Klitschko and then I go and beat Luis Ortiz in the same calendar year, I mean, he has the best resume in heavyweight boxing and arguably in the last 5 years, other than Klitschko. I mean, he is without a doubt staking his name for a potential Hall of Famer. He's without a doubt staking a claim for a run at heavyweight that is quite legendary for what we've seen recently.
Does he do the 90 or the scale back, go to like a 50, 30,000 arena with this one?
I think he probably scales back just to not saturate the market. But like a 50,000, 60,000, maybe even like a 40,000 seat stadium, that would be awesome. I think that would still be a really massive event.
Who's more known in the UK? Luis King Kong Ortiz after his Eddie Hearn tour or Pulev?
Oh, Luis Ortiz. I would say hands down.
All right. Well, listen, if you're watching this on YouTube, we would love you to hit that thumbs up button. Just hit it once. Boop. It helps with the visibility of the show. Also, you could go a step further and show your support by dropping us a 5-star review on iTunes, which tremendously helps with the visibility of the show and with the scheduling of those wonderful interviews that you enjoy. We're going to go out to the callers, obviously, to get your take on this. We want to know what direction you think Anthony Joshua should go. We gave you the facts. We gave you the reason as to what and why we're here. Obviously, Luis Ortiz is threatening lawsuit, but again, with all those little things now out on the table that he has, Al Heyman as his manager, and Al obviously works with Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn being the promoter of Anthony Joshua. I mean, Pulev seems to me like the odd man out when it comes to, checking all the boxes. Again, my co-host and I believe Luis is more popular in the UK. Our UK listeners can obviously let us know that.
Very quickly, hold on. I want to ask you a question. If Joshua takes the Klitschko rematch, or if Klitschko takes the rematch, because it's kind of in Klitschko's court, because Joshua's team has sent the contract over, they are willing to do the rematch. If Klitschko wants to do it, does Ortiz still sue the WBA? In your opinion?
I think that he's going to have to. Or it's really up to Joshua what Ortiz does, right? Like, again, the lawsuit won't be directed at Joshua, but if Joshua decides to rematch, then Luis will direct his lawsuit at the WBA. But the fight would continue with Vladimir regardless. Possibly they strip Joshua, possibly not, because again, it would be now in this legal realm where things get settled in court. So,
and also very quickly, the WBA was the Klitschko belt in a way. Klitschko was the one that wanted that belt on the line. He said he had the relationship with the WBA. It's not Joshua. So maybe the WBA is actually more willing to vacate that title or strip the title or force Joshua to do things because in their mind, that was not their guy. I don't know.
Possibly. We definitely want to get your take on this. Let us know. Remember to hit that thumbs up button. It helps with the visibility of the show. We're going to head on out to a word from our sponsors. Then we're going straight out to our callers.
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
on Skype. We're going to go out to I think you're a first-time call. I believe we were communicating on Twitter. Am I right or am I wrong here? Come on. RW over here. Mr. RW. Rob on Skype. Going once. There you go. Talk to me. Are you alive, buddy? You there?
Yeah, I'm on my mobile, man. Yeah.
Yeah, no problem. Are you looking to voice your opinion, or you want me to go to the next caller?
No, yeah. Let me have it. Yeah, I'm a big AJ fan, obviously here in the UK. I just think he needs to take on anyone that steps in his way, anyone that wants it. He's got to give it to them, and yeah, bring it on. Pulev, I think there's been talk of that from his management, saying they're getting close to maybe trying to sort something. Joseph Parker, I mean, forget it. He's so far from the A list. Jesus, they need to extend the alphabet or something.
So you rather see Joshua fight Pulev instead of Ortiz?
No, man. I just at some point he's going to fight them all, and I just think he's going to take it all. But I'd like to see Ortiz first. He's calling them out. Let's have it. Let's do it. I just think it's all going to gear up and ready for Wilder. I don't know when Wilder's fighting next or who he's against, but he needs to, I don't know, just get himself in the game a bit. He just doesn't. I don't know. He's not calling people out. I don't know. He's sort of still toying with Bellew. I mean, that's just, I don't know. It's not really a heavyweight clash, is it? I don't know why we're even talking about it. But hey, can I get my first-time caller intro as well?
For sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his professional debut,
the fighting pride of Oxford, England, Rob.
Rob, man, thank you for calling in. Listen, Rob, I'm just going to say, you sound like you're deflecting a little. I don't know. Was it me, Hipster, or did he mention Wilder?
He did mention Wilder.
This is so weird. It's so weird. Okay, let's go to David in the UK as well. Talk to us.
Hey, guys. Yeah, so Eddie Hearn did an interview, so I don't know whether you guys have managed to watch it yet with IFL, and he's basically said it's either Pulev or Klitschko next, and he thinks that they'll be able to deal with Ortiz in the spring, so spring of next year. So sounds, well, so it'll be interesting to see how things pan out. I don't really know the kind of legals of, how these things work, whether Ortiz actually has a genuine case or not, but it seems odd to me that the WBA would actually, I don't know, is there any precedent for this where where someone's actually sued and managed to get a world title shot or a belt?
Well, I mean, he's the mandatory, so it's more about Joshua having to vacate, because if he doesn't take the fight,
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, has anyone actually legally challenged a governing body and actually managed to get their shot? If you see what I'm saying, or
I know that there was another suit. We'll check it out and try to get back to you before the end of the show.
But very quickly, I want to ask you, what do you want to see? I know that Eddie Hearn is going to do his promoter thing, and we all know what promoters do. But what do you, as the fan, want to see first?
That's a tough one. Most of the big fights, I like to see marinate a little bit more. So obviously Ortiz is the more competitive fight, but at the same time, I want to see someone, hopefully, AJ, get all the belts, and if he basically has to fight Pulev, or he's dropping the IBF belt. So if he's got to fight Pulev to keep the IBF, then I guess it has to be Pulev. So, but apparently also Eddie Hearn said today that they can maybe pay some step-aside money or a special deal with Pulev, so it's Klitschko, then Pulev. But then obviously it brings a problem, I guess, to the WBA. So it's going to be interesting to see how it all pans out.
All right. Matt, am I the only one that feels like we should be playing the soundbite?
I've tried to cut back on sound bites. You know that.
But which one did you have in mind right now?
I mean, there's so many that I have, but obviously there's the classic, right?
I think that was fitting, but I think if you go to your second favorite, oh no, that I think that's your all-time favorite. You know that's
I know which one you like.
Yes. See, we're in sync. Me and my co-host, we're like an iPhone and a Mac, baby. We're in sync, and I'm starting to feel some deflection vibes. I mean, you asked the man what did he want to see, and he said, well, obviously Luis Ortiz is the more competitive fight, so I want to see Pulev. Did you hear that?
I'll put it this way, and it was David, right? I loved your call, and I always love your calls, but when I ask you what do you want to see, and then you automatically bring up, well, the IBF, is going to force him to strip the belt if he doesn't fight his, mandatory. Like you're bringing up politics and the sanctioning bodies and the ruling. That's not what I care about. I care about what you want to see in the ring. Fuck the politics. Fuck the rules. What do you want to see?
But Matt, besides that, the IBF and the WBA are threatening the same thing, right? Like each are mandating their mandatory challengers, and each will strip the champion if he doesn't face. It's up to the champion to come up with a good deal to keep both sanctioning bodies happy while he does what he has to do. But it's just funny what we're hearing. Let's get out to some more callers. This is getting interesting. We're going to go out to Donald in Richmond, California. Talk to us.
What's up, y'all? Man, you know what? I like Anthony Joshua as the heavyweight champion. I would like to see him collect all the belts, but I got to be real here. Anthony Joshua is stuck between the rock and the hard place right now. I mean, it looks like he might be possibly stripped of one of his titles, but I would like to see the Luis Ortiz fight, although that is another hard fight coming off the Klitschko fight. Is that really fair for Joshua to have to fight Luis Ortiz after Klitschko? Maybe, maybe not. I mean, he chose this route to go for all the belts, so he has to step to the plate and take all of these hard fights that are going to be mandated. Pulev is the easier fight, but I mean, I'm not excited to see Joshua fight Pulev because that's just not an exciting fight for me. The Luis Ortiz is a more exciting fight. So Joshua and Eddie Hearn, they have to figure out what is going to be easier. I'm pretty sure it will cost them more step-aside money to pay Luis Ortiz because he's making such noise. So I think that he should take the Luis Ortiz fight and pay Pulev step-aside money so the IBF doesn't strip him. But at the same time, he still has to negotiate everything if he wants to keep all those titles. I mean, if he doesn't want to keep all the titles and he doesn't want to go for another hard fight, I would say let go of the WBA, fight Pulev. That's the easier fight. I mean, but it's so many ifs, ands, and buts of this. For me to specifically give something very detailed, I would have to actually know what's on Anthony Joshua's mind. Does Anthony Joshua want to go for another hard fight, or does he not want to go for another hard fight? If he wants to go for another hard fight, make the Luis Ortiz fight. But if he doesn't want another hard fight, then go for the Pulev fight. But then we still have a notion, is Klitschko going to want to do the rematch? Klitschko winning the rematch could totally mess up everything. I mean, Klitschko winning the rematch will definitely put Joshua in a position to where he will be stripped of one of those titles. So, I mean, I don't know. But Luis Ortiz, he does deserve his title shot. I mean, it's time. And I think when Luis Ortiz signed with Al Heyman, I think that was a smart strategy move because I think in the long run, he was saying, let me sign with Heyman because you know why? I want Joshua. And working under Eddie Hearn, I don't think he was ever going to get that fight with Joshua. I think Hearn working with him was kind of a shield to keep him out of the path of Joshua, you know? And I think Luis Ortiz wanted to relinquish that and go to Heyman because he did want to get that fight, you know? I think we can all agree with that, right?
But I don't know. Maybe. I think it definitely strengthens his opportunities of getting it. I got to bring it up because we have a live chat for those that don't know. This is a podcast, this is a live show. It's a bit of everything. We get engagement from our listeners, not only through phone, but through the live chat. And I'm seeing more and more deflection come up. And I don't understand it. Like, why is there this animosity, towards other heavyweights in the division? Like, Luis Ortiz is ranked in the WBA. He is positioning himself for a shot at the WBA. That is the sanctioning body that he paid sanctioning fees in order to be ranked. I don't understand. Why are people being upset that he wants his opportunity? Was anybody upset at Gennady Golovkin when he was trying to get his opportunity with Sergio, with Cotto, with Canelo? Was anybody upset when Earl was trying to get his opportunity with Kell Brook? Or was anyone upset when Kell Brook was trying to get his opportunity at Sean Porter? I mean, mandatories are mandatories. Why all of a sudden are people mad that the Golden Boy has 2 mandatories? And it's not difficult. A guy with this popularity, a guy that brings this much of a paycheck, of course everyone's going to want to fight him instead of anybody else. I mean, let's not forget, and we can never forget. We can never forget, and no heavyweight will ever forget that Charles Martin, that dude made 5.6 or some shit like that. They're not going to forget it. They want those opportunities that Joshua represents. It's just that simple. Don't get upset, man. It is what it is. He will find a way out of it, believe me, because of his popularity. He'll find a way out of it. But you shouldn't be upset that it's happening. I mean, this is just natural. Everyone wanted a shot at Floyd Mayweather or Manny Pacquiao. They all call him out. It's part of boxing. Stop it with the nonsense and the deflection.
Well,
I told y'all alone.
Oh, sorry. I didn't
Yeah. Because remember, I want to talk very fast. Very quickly, just to address the live chat more specifically, Wilder Ortiz. Why aren't we getting Deontay Wilder versus Ortiz instead? Joshua fought Klitschko. Well, if you have been following, you have been hearing that Bermain Stavern has come out and said Wilder's trying to pay me step-aside money so he can get a unification fight with Joseph Parker. And Bermain Stavern is not accepting that step-aside money.
Same situation that Luis Ortiz is in.
And very quickly, I forget who asked us to the precedent of lawsuits against sanctioning bodies. The closest one I can find with some relevance was against Vladimir Klitschko. Vladimir Klitschko sued the IBF when he was not the mandatory challenger to Chris Bird. And he actually lost the lawsuit. A federal judge turned down the lawsuit. And Don King was involved in the situation. ESPN has an article about it. I'll post it on my Twitter at Mixed Combat News if you want to read it and just, find a familiar or similar case to one that we might see with Luis Ortiz.
And for the crybabies, where's my sound bites at? I wish we had someone did. What was that? You know what? Let me stop. Let me stop rambling. For the crybabies. Let's stop with this ridiculous notion. People are saying, I heard you just now repeat it. Wilder is with PBC. Luis Ortiz is with Heyman. Why we're not getting that fight? So what about that 3-fight deal that Luis Ortiz had with Eddie Hearn? So when they were signed on the same promotional company or doing business, because I know we're going to get those super duper Joshua defenders. They're going to be like, well, Ness, it was a fight by fight. It wasn't really, he wasn't signed in Matchroom. He was only working with him fight by fight. Well, it was 3 fights.
Shit happens, man.
It was 3 fights. That's why Luis Ortiz probably fucking left. Because in 3 fights, he didn't get what he wanted, but he knew that Al would push it. That's the bottom line. We're going to keep it moving. We're going to get out to some alumni out here. We got a bunch of callers, so sit tight.
I told y'all a long time ago, the Kirkland will go down in 3 rounds.
Who's next? I got milk, baby.
Milkman. Sleeping Beauty. Going once. Going twice. Mars in Queens, talk to us.
Yo.
What up?
Yes, sir. What's good, y'all? Ain't nothing. I'm chilling, man. I feel like Joshua, and he got pulled over, and Ortiz, right?
Yes.
Shit, I don't really know, man. I feel like he should fight Ortiz. I mean, that's the more exciting fight, and I think he could win. Because Ortiz, although he got the Cuban background and all that, he's kind of slow, and he doesn't let his hands go. And he's probably older, or maybe like around the same age as Klitschko. You know, them Cubans, they lie about their age and all that. So, yeah, he should fight him and knock his head off, and then fight pull off and knock his head off, too. That's my call.
That's what I said. Yo, the dude's 38. His last 3 ain't look so great, you know? I mean, think about it. But people are saying I'm hating. How is that hating? I just gave him the best route. Pulev is younger. You know? 215, you're alive.
Hello.
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 Yo.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
215, first time caller? You gotta get off speaker, buddy, or we gotta let you go.
No, I'm not on speaker.
All right, first time caller. How long you been listening?
Hello?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
I hear you fine, sir.
Hey, listen. Okay, hey, listen. Joshua, he won the super WBA title, right? When do they get mandatories? I never heard of that. He should be fighting Briggs or the other guy, or just fighting for the regular title.
No, he shouldn't.
Remember,
I mean, by their rules, I never heard of a super champion.
That is a very valid point. That is a very valid point.
But there's numerous clauses in every one of these sanctioning bodies that say they can change the rules at their discretion.
That is a valid point, though. He's right. Floyd never got challenged, and neither did Cotto. Remember that Austin Trout was there forever and never got to fight Cotto, even though he did get to fight Cotto, but that was when Cotto needed the belt.
Okay, y'all I gotta go, but I don't think I don't think he had to fight him. I believe they'll make him fight the winner of Briggs and Fresno Kendall, which is some bullshit, but
yo, which is beyond bullshit, but thanks for calling. Listen, what is your name, sir? We never got your name. I tried to give you the first time caller intro, but I don't know, you got a bad connection. Can we at least get your name?
I'm Rick from Philly.
Rick from Philly. Thanks for calling in, brother. Yeah, man. We're gonna get back to some other calls. We got some more alumni here. Let's just keep these phone lines moving.
Yo, first of all, let me say, I don't pay showtime to see you all there not even putting a goddamn motherfucking effort. If I want to see some motherfucker just fight, I pick up a fight with somebody in the street. Don't need that shit. You don't love that sport, my dude? Just move along. Gone. Fuck you. Next. What a great show. Thumbs up, donate.
Fucking WBA, the fucking mafia. Now they want a piece of AJ again. These fucking reptilians. Man!
Georgie!
Listen, brother. Let me give a shout out to Canelo, to tell the fucking WBC to go suck dick. I hope AJ tell the WBA to suck dick. I hope the rest of the boxing scene, what the fan has seen with this conglomerate of foreign scumbaggery that the fucking so-consular bodies represent. We don't need these bills. We don't need these people lynching. We don't need them. Hope every boxer follow suit and listen to us, the fans. And fuck them. That's my call. Great show. Thumbs up and support.
All right. Thanks for calling in, Georgie. Really quick before we get to any other calls, I want to remind everyone about our free gift. As you can see, if you're watching us on YouTube, you can head on over to our website and collect these free necklaces and boxing pendants, much like the Golden Gloves, absolutely free. All you got to do is pay that shipping. $12.95 is the shipping and handling. It brings it all the way to your doorstep, absolutely free, just for being a listener. Many different alternatives there, but obviously the one that's going red hot are the boxing gloves, which come in both 3 separate colors: gold, silver, and black. So definitely head on over to ThaBoxingVoice.com for that VIP collection. You just pay the shipping. We give you a gift for being a listener of the show. We want to thank, obviously, MI Promotions for helping us out with that, because, you know, we're getting a little bigger here. We have a lot of listeners, and we want to be able to give you a little treat, so why not? We're going to head on back to the phone lines. We're going to get to some alumni right about now.
JD, motherfucker.
There's a lot of things I like to move, so just try to get on my game. I don't know why they gonna call me, but I'm a 54-pounder. But I have a brother that's at 160.
Yo, Ortiz. I'm a fan, man. I don't know what it is about these Cuban fighters, but I am a fan, and I don't get it. I don't get it. He's the mandatory. Why y'all mad? You know what I'm saying? The dude is not, King Kong is knocking on the door, and he wants some answers. So, man, you know, that would be scary. That's a scary situation if I'm Joshua. Somehow I do feel like they're gonna get out of that fight, because that's one hell of a mandatory, man. Like, out of all the guys after Errol Spence being Kell Brook mandatory, he's the next scariest mandatory to have, in my opinion.
Hey JD, would you take the Klitschko rematch over the Ortiz fight, or would you actually prefer the Ortiz fight over the Klitschko rematch?
Well,
I think me and you both agree that the Pulev fight is shit compared to the Ortiz fight.
Yeah, no, it's not even. It won't be as competitive as the Ortiz fight. But to answer your question, you saying if I'm Joshua?
No, just like the fans in general. Do you think like the fans will accept the Klitschko fight, or even you? Like, will you accept the Klitschko fight if that's not the Ortiz fight? Will you accept the Klitschko fight over the Ortiz fight?
Nah, not over the Ortiz fight, because we already seen the Klitschko fight. I want to see. I really want to see, you know, Ortiz get a shot. You know what I'm saying? I want to see if he as good as, you know, people think. I just love for that fight to happen, me personally. Klitschko, I don't know. I wouldn't mind seeing it again, though. It wasn't a bad fight. I had to say that. But I just would rather see. I'm a fan of, seeing new fights. I don't like seeing the same Pacquiao Marquez over and over. You know what I'm saying? I'm just not. I'm just not a fan of rematches, man. Unless your name is Daniel Jacobs. Nah, that's all I got, though, man.
Denied. That wasn't me, by the way. That was not me. That the soundbite overload that you all heard, that was all Ness.
Yo, such a liar.
I played one soundbite.
Thanks for calling in, brother. Yo, you know that at least JD and DJ are on Q together, because Daniel Jacobs put out a Instagram post like, yo, unfinished business, like that rematch needs to happen with he and Golovkin, but it's too late, man. He laid out the blueprint. Canelo's gonna try and follow it. You know the number, 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 if you want to voice your opinion here on this topic. Luis Ortiz threatening to sue the WBA if he doesn't get his Anthony Joshua shot. And he's saying he's waiting no more. He stepped aside so that Vladimir could get his shot. He's saying he wants this fight by October or November, or Joshua is going to have to give up the title. Remember that hitting up that thumbs up button, it helps with the visibility of the show, lets me and Matt know that you appreciate us getting. I mean, Matt, it's 9 in the morning for Matt around here, sometime like that. I don't know.
Now it's like 11 a.m.
11
shows, you know.
Maybe 11, but it's 9 in the morning somewhere, Matt. And that dedication that we're putting in needs to be recognized. We need those thumbs up. Those are absolutely free. Like I said, you could always go to iTunes. You know why?
Remember to rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
Because it's important. And let me tell you something. You want to go a step further? You want to support us on Patreon? I just put out a lot of stuff. You want to see Keith Thurman rapping? You never seen that anywhere? It's on Patreon. You want to take it a step further, see him battling our very own co-host, Enrique Casual Fan Church? Well, it's on Patreon. Go check it out. Live rap battle between Keith One-Time Thurman and Casual. It's titled That One Time battled Enrique. That's right. Check it out on Patreon. We also have more exclusive footage. We got some Earl Spence stuff, and I'm going to release some new Earl, and since we're getting close to the fight. You know, those chocolate brownies are in the oven. We got that exclusive. Me and Matt was over there with Doomy Doomsday, and we got stuff we haven't even put out, but we're slowly putting it out on Patreon to our most loyal members over there. So definitely check it out. We're going to go now to New York City, Brooklyn, talk to Phil Thrill. What's going on, Phil?
Yeah, what up, man? How you doing? I'm on the second job right now, third job later tonight. So, you know, but I had to chime in. First, I think Luis Ortiz has a gripe because he's been, in my opinion, he's been patient enough. Nobody wants to fight this man. He's too dangerous. He'll derail people's plans. It reminds me of Luis Collazo in a sense where he almost beat Hatton, he almost beat Berto. Then they shushed him. It's the same thing. He beating up the guys in great fashion, and these heavyweights don't want to really see him because they know he could develop plans, high risk, low reward. But I feel for Luis Ortiz. I think it's a money grab on the handlers of Anthony Joshua. Maybe not Anthony Joshua himself, but the handlers. And once you get a taste of like $5 million, because I think that's what Joshua's purse was, you kind of want to keep doing that. You feel me? That's like you kind of keep.
Joshua made $20 million.
Yeah,
Joshua made $20 million.
So, you know, just put 3 times that. That's all.
What?
Yeah. Just.
What?
Joshua made hold on. Joshua made $13 million guaranteed, and then $7 million added with gate revenue and pay-per-view.
I haven't seen numbers like that since Tyson. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, for one fight. And see, I don't know if that's going to be the norm for him, but do you think he could get 13 with Lewis? Who else could he get this type of money with? So it makes more sense for Anthony financially to step to Klitschko for the rematch to say, you know what, let's do it again. But if you want to keep it going as far as in the system of things, if you want to abide by the system, then I think Luis Ortiz should get the shot. Being that Luis is with Jay-Z, I think Jay-Z going to have to overcharge for what they did to the Crush to get his boy up in that bout. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I got to say. Thank you, Ness. I appreciate being on the Boxing Voice. It's an honor. One.
Brother, well, it's an honor to have a listener and a caller like you, man. Thank you for calling in, putting out that great call. Want to remind everybody in the future, present, past, doesn't matter. Hit that thumbs up button. It helps us with the visibility of the show, obviously. Lets other people know where to find us. Head on over to iTunes. Drop us a 5-star review. Matt, I mean, any final thoughts? I'm actually going to try and pull up some 5-star reviews here so we could read a few. But what's your final thoughts here, man? A lot of deflection, like I said. Actually, you know, just, yeah, tell me. What's your final thoughts?
Okay, I'm going to give a slight deflection that you might interpret as a deflection. When we have 4 separate entities controlling the sport with all different interests, with different belts, with different rules, with different mandatories, we're going to get situations like this always. We're always going to get these situations. So these situations are unavoidable, unfortunately. Now, I think I'm always sort of leaning towards the purest of the sport, I think. And I think that the best should always fight the best. And it's looking like Deontay Wilder is doing everything he can to fight Joseph Parker and unify that belt. So I want to see Anthony Joshua fight an equally good opponent, if not better. And those names are Klitschko rematch, which I will accept, but I want the Luis Ortiz fight. I just want Luis Ortiz to fight someone. I've been riding with him ever since that Brian Jennings win. To me, that proved that he was elite. That proved to me that he was a top 3 heavyweight in the world. And I just want to see him get that next opportunity to really prove that, because I think everyone sleeps on him. And I think he can go out there and beat a Wilder and beat a Joshua and beat a Klitschko and beat a Parker. He could do that. I'm not necessarily favoring him to do that, but he could. So I want to see him try. So let's give him the shot. And Pulev is irrelevant to me. So that's my final thoughts. Yeah.
That's his final thoughts. So we're 2 for 2. 2 for 2 on these reviews. You know, every now and then you gotta get some bad reviews, and everybody's not gonna love you, Matt. They're not gonna love you. Okay. Unfortunately, for me, it's not you that they don't love. It's me that they don't love.
That's not true. There's a lot of people that hate me too.
Well,
you more though, obviously.
Yes. I don't know. I don't understand if this is supposed to be a 1-star review. Well, I guess it is a 1-star review. Unfortunately, I'm lying here. It just hurts to read these words. 5-star review for a 5-star show. Most biased podcast out there. Ness is so blinded by his love for Wilder, he can't even hold a rational argument.
I'm such a dick. I'm sorry.
No. Hey, you just gave me an opportunity to read. Your part's coming pretty soon. He can't even hold a rational argument. And then he abuses anyone who supports a white fighter, even though he won't stop talking about a bum black heavyweight. Hipster, he's Ness's yes man and won't dare disagree with anything he says. Awful podcasting caps. Do not listen. Damn.
I mean, did he hear yesterday's show?
This comes from the UK, and he mentioned Wilder. So one would assume he's an Anthony Joshua fan. And just like today's podcast, there's a lot of deflection. I understand. They seen him go down versus Vladimir, and they're automatically assuming that I'm going to use that as ammunition versus them and think that Joshua's going to lose to Wilder. So they're lashing out.
Bomb squad!
Stop it, Deontay. You got to wait your turn. You know how this Stop it. Listen, the next one comes from another guy in the UK. Go figure. Ness is the casual's casual. Avoid this show like the plague. The lack of boxing knowledge and understanding is embarrassing. Consistently incorrect facts and stats. These are not boxing people, and you will be dumber for listening. And I got to tell you, Matt, that is partially your fault because he's saying consistently incorrect facts and stats. So he's taking a shot at the producer. I'm just saying.
And he said not boxing people, and everyone knows I'm sort of an MMA guy too. Shots at me.
Shot. All right, so we said we were 2 for 2. So it's time to get a little bit of love, at least. You know what I mean? A little bit of love is all it takes. A little bit of love is all. Yo, you know what? I just want to thank. Those other people. They obviously remain nameless, but at least you got your review read. But this one is from the UK also, and it comes from Haro. I want to hope that's like a Spanish Haro. And then it's like, oh shit, we got some Spanish people in the UK. Yay. But he gave us a 5-star review. It's titled Amazing. And it's best boxing podcast. So much content, never stops. Keep it up. And then the other one is another UK, and it's from Duracell. and it's a 5-star review titled The Boxing Voice. And it says, top podcast, great analysis, reviews, and chat. Give it a click, give it a listen, and give it a thumbs up. 5-star rating, top show. Keep it up.
Isn't it always funny how like the 5-star ratings are usually like really short, and the ones that hate you write like a fucking essay about how much they hate you?
They're really, you know, in their emotions.
Yeah.
You know, they're really in their MDs, and in their MDs, their feelings get all overwhelmed and they melt. And melting usually happens to people who deal with F&Es. You know, it's some would say F&Es are kind of a female trait, like feelings and emotions. Like,
Nah, it's not even that.
I mean, I don't know. Some would say that. I've heard raps like that. I don't know.
I've heard rap like that.
Idris in the UK. I think I heard a Billy Badass rap like that. Like, yo.
I mean, Joey Badass. Why are you calling him Billy Badass?
No. Oh, actually, see, I was trying to give your boy props just for being from New York. It's actually Jay-Z. He was like, males shouldn't be jealous. That's a female's trait. So all them little subliminals and tweets and shit, like males, you shouldn't be jealous. That's a female. I mean, you do you. Like, oh, Jay-Z said another one, like, what you eat doesn't make me shit. So you do you, we're going to do us. And, you know, we'll continue to be number one. Idris, what's going on?
Yeah, man. What's happening, man?
Chilling, reading reviews.
I haven't put that review on yet, yeah, but 5-star, man. I'm going to put it up, man. Best podcast ever, man. And I'm a Patreon member now. If you ain't got Patreon,
I seen that, man. You joined the live chat level too, so that's gonna be awesome, man. You got to go back and listen.
man.
Yo, listen. Don't wait. Yeah. Go back and listen to our Anthony Joshua, Vladimir Klitschko live chat. You can hear us while we watch. Dude, see, for all those people, exactly,
man. That's why
exactly for all those people that think I hate Joshua, tell them how in love I was with him that night. I was in awe that night. I mean, I even lost my
Nestor was screaming like a little girl. He was like, "Oh my God, Joshua!"
Yo, it was amazing.
Yeah. Do you know why? Do you know why it's authentic? You can see it's live reaction, innit? That's the whole point of it. It's authentic. I want to see your emotion and stuff like that. So that's a good thing. And that's just a plus, man. But let me tell you guys something, man. Patreon, if you ain't got it, man, that shit is a bargain, man. Go and get that shit, man. But let me just address this Luis Ortiz thing quickly. Luis Ortiz, these guys, they're not looking at Klitschko knocking him down and thinking, yeah, I can take it. They're looking at the 90,000 people there and thinking, I want some of that shit right there. Do you know what I mean? AJ over here right now, he's on some Hulk Hogan 1985 level shit. Do you know what I mean? He's up to that level right now, but it's to mandatory. I want to see that fight. It's got to happen. But I'm just want to give some little, get the Patreon, man. If you ain't got the Patreon, have a look at it at least. See what's there. It's worth it. Little plug out for you guys there. Boom, I'm out.
Idris, thanks for calling in. And Nah Hands of Stone, who's also a Patreon, thanks for always being in the chat. I know you give us a lot of shit, but that's all the love, right? And the truth is, man, I'm really an AJ fan. Like, I've been saying it to you guys every time it happens kind of live. It's like, you know, slowly I became a fan after certain fights, after certain programming. That's why I was yelling about not getting a face-off, you know, because I remember watching that behind the scenes footage that maybe Kugan Cassius got with Dominic Brazil, and watching AJ like, yo, don't fucking get tough with me for the cameras. Like, fuck them cameras. You know what I'm saying? Don't square up like you're going to do something. I love that. I love that he was fucking, you know.
Plus his beef with Dylan White, that was authentic.
I got it in little pieces. Then, you know, I watched another little AJ thing, and it's like, oh, I found out he had a checkered pass, and it's like, oh shit, relatable, you know. So people, like, you know, you guys are just assuming and, you know, kind of projecting your own negativity because you're fearful, and it's okay. It's the heavyweight division. Be fearful, but don't get mad at me because I want to see a good fight.
Bomb Squad!
Matt, stop overusing that because they're gonna think it's me.
Bomb Squad!
Oh, sure. Go ahead, Matt. Do it again.
Really doing this right now?
It's
really?
Okay. Listen. Before we say anything else,
Fight fans, don't leave the decision in the hands of the judges. Download the Throwdown scoring app and receive live scoring, CompuBox stats, boxing predictions from other users around the world. Head over to your iPhone App Store or your Google Play Store and download it absolutely free.
Bomb Squad! Matt, what the fuck? Are you serious? For real? Come on, bro. That's enough.
What's funny is that we can literally see your hand move and to go touch the soundboard and press it. And I'm not doing anything. I'm not doing anything.
What I'm doing. You don't even know where what is.
But
Look,
we see you moving.
Check this out. Check this out. Check this out. Zzz. Right? Then look. Without hands moving anyway. Zzz. Look. Zzz.
I saw your hand move, dude.
Look. No, but I'm saying they're staying in the same. There's so many things on this desk that you wouldn't know.
But when I'm not moving, okay, and we see you move, and all of a sudden we hear Bomb Squad.
Yo,
we know it's you. Come on.
Yo, you know, I bought a new cage for my mic.
I noticed that. How is it? Do you like it more?
It didn't come yet. It didn't come yet. It should be coming tomorrow. It's actually, I've been doing a lot of research, bro. A lot of research on new equipment. I'm dying to get this fucking new gyro. But it's like in a cage. It's beautiful. It's got hot shoes and everything for like lights and different adapters for mics. Yeah, man, shit is dope. Shit is dope. Nest rides Alabama. Dreamland. I love Dreamland. Their ribs. I'm telling you, for real. I love them. I love them. But yes, listen, I am your host, Nestor Gibbs. Find me on Instagram and Twitter at NestGTO. Check us out on patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice for exclusive perks. I'm talking, you're tired of waiting in line? Well, cut it. Become a ringer. You got stuck with your words in your mouth? Well, become a boomerang and come back. And we got tiers that'll get you a new TBV shirt. Actually, let me give out my list, Matt. I'm going to give out my list. I'm actually mailing some stuff out today. Everything is packed up. Labels are on. Your shirts and your goodies are in the bag. Demetrius Harris, your autographed glove is coming out today. Walter Castillo, I probably pronounced that wrong. But Walt, you know, your glove's on the way. Neil White, that dude's been around. Remember Neil from the TBV Appreciation? And
yeah.
Neil, can't wait to light one. Your glove's going out today. He wanted a Wilder glove. Glove Squad! He wanted a Wilder glove. See, Matt's right on point. She's playing them sound. But JD, I owed you a shirt. It's going out today. Alex Lemon, it's going out today. Brad from Bakersfield today. Fabricio, Oi. Lewis, Oi. Thomas, Ahorita. If you're like from South America, then you know ahorita means right now. So if you're like me, Dominican, ahorita means later, which really is when it's gonna happen later. Like I gotta finish the show, get in the car, take the fucking bag. So it really is my version of ahorita, not Central and American, South American version of ahorita. But whatever. Let's go to my host, who kind of looks Central and South American, but he's not, right?
I'm Portuguese. You know,
you look like you could be some sort of Latin.
Yeah, and I get confused for that, especially like when summer.
I was watching actually a video of you from fucking Florida the other day because I put out some behind the scenes footage on Patreon, and I put it out, and you got handlebar mustache. Don't ever do that again. Just saying.
No, I'm never doing that again.
That's some West Coast shit over there. Fucking handlebars, and you get on the little. He got on the fucking Snoop Dogg chopper with the handlebars.
Oh, that's some good shit. But yes, I am Matt Hunter, the co-host, producer. You can find me at Mixed Combat News on Twitter.
Who the fuck is that guy?
No.
That's fucked up, man.
No, he's my fucking co-host, McGregor. What's wrong with you?
Oh, damn. You know why he does that? Because I got Nate Diaz on my intro. McGregor doesn't like
I did that because I wanted to interrupt you to say, Matt, don't forget to remind him the TBV overtime, or is it overdrive?
I knew I forgot something. No, I got TBV overtime. It's our new show on Patreon only. So after every Thursday and Sunday show, we're going to cut the show early a little bit now. We're not going to go on for 4+ hours. We're cutting that down to 3 hours-ish. And then we're putting out everything on TBV Overtime on Patreon where we can just shoot the shit. We can talk about boxing. We can talk about music, movies, anything.
The Hipster gave his whack-ass list of rappers, bro, and it was not good. It was like As soon as he was like, yo, this is my top 5.
Give a fuck about your feelings.
And he was like, but why? I'm like, because.
Please tell me why you always leave. Please tell me why you always leave.
Nobody even know what that West Coast dude's saying.
Dude, that's YG. Everyone, dude, YG is one of the most underrated. Okay, we can't get into this. That's TBV overtime. Find me at Mixed Combat News on Twitter. Find me at Matt Hunter TBV on Instagram. My MMA podcast, Mixed Combat Radio on Patreon, SoundCloud, YouTube, iTunes, etc. Peace.
Yo, I didn't even know that you didn't say that. Hands of Stone. Shout out to Hands of Stone. He obviously heard Overtime. I'm all over the place with that. And he said he watched that movie. We ain't gonna tell them which one, Hands of Stone. They got to go over there to Patreon and find out themselves. And they can check out our other podcast that we have exclusively on Patreon called Untitled,
which I haven't been on yet. A little bit heard about that.
He's not been on Untitled. You know why, guys? Because he has fucking handlebars as a mustache. That's why he and Mario aren't on that show, because they both got handlebars.
You are.
Yo, Jay, that's my fucking code. Stop it. Yo. Quick word to our haters. Yeah, just
I got one more thing to our haters.
Bitch, sit down.
Actually, my man Diallo DiBiase made something specifically for that. Where is it? Where is it?
I gotta talk to Dollar about making an intro and outro for my podcast. I gotta talk to him about that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Yo, I don't know where I put that. Damn.
This is a little teaser, TBV overtime.
Mm-hmm. Where is that? I added this to the main one, though.
I broke my back.
Whoa. That's not mine. That was yours. Yeah, I don't know where it's at, man. Damn. He had some fire, though.
Damn. Next show, then.
Yeah. Laters.
Peace.
Arrivederci. Hit that thumbs up button. It doesn't matter if you just jumped on. You just got to hit it because.
Absolutely.
There you go. That's why.
If Floyd says it, you have to do it.
Damn, that sounded like Tyson.